my full thoughts on World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Hey there guys, my name is Nixxiom, the stud muffin death knight lady seducing sex titan himself. Ooh! And a little while ago, I made a video talking about what I thought of BlizzCon 2019. Now in this video, I detailed some of my thoughts regarding the convention as a whole. I addressed each and every announcement from Blizzard and shared my quick opinions on them, and well, what happened is some people seem to have gotten the wrong impression from me in regard to what I thought about the new World of Warcraft expansion. Well, in this video, what I want to do is I want to settle any confusions or concerns or whatever, and so yeah, let's talk about World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Let's dive into this beast and I can share with you guys my full expanded edition thoughts. Yeah. Now first and foremost, let's talk about the beginning. Like quite literally the very beginning, as in what happens when you make a new character in this expansion. Now for years, I have been talking about how I feel that the level cap in WoW has gotten way too high. I've made so many videos about that subject, and the responses that you all had to those videos was awesome, to say the least. Now for us veteran players, 120 might not be such a big deal, but for some little nooblet who is stepping into the game for the first time, seeing such a high level cap, it might deter them from committing to the game fully. They'll think that it's just going to take too much time to get to cap, and they're going to be, too far behind everybody else. They're not going to commit. Hey, a brand new player is not going to understand the game at all. Don't forget that. They don't understand how long it takes to level. They don't know. So I've been a big advocate for a level squish for quite some time, setting the level cap back to level 60, which I was surprised Blizzard did not do in Battle for Azeroth if they were going to do it, as halving the level cap in that expansion would have been the perfect time. A zone right now that's a level 20 area, that would just become a level 10 zone. You'd get talent points more often, spells more often, and so on. You'd just get something pretty much every time you level up, and that would be great. That was the theory. And here on this channel, we've even bitched and moaned before about the idea of endgame progression while leveling up new characters, or as a new player entirely. And Shadowlands, you guessed it, is bringing all of this to the game. So let me just say, as you might conclude on your own accord, I'm personally very excited for all of this. Now, I highly doubt that Blizzard took direct inspiration from my videos and all the comments that you guys have been leaving here on the channel. But if they did, if you did, Blizzard, cool. I think that would show just how much influence we as a community have over the future of the game. So, guys, keep making videos, keep sharing ideas on your streams, and keep leaving comments. The devs could always be listening, and I love you guys for it. Yeah. But Blizzard took it a step further with a new area called Exile's Reach. This is a new starting zone in the game that will take you from level 1 to level 10. Now, after you complete it and you've learned how the game works, you then get to choose any time period of WoW you want to level to 50 in, before proceeding to Shadowlands, which will take you to level 60 with its content. You want to level from 10 to 50 in Wrath of the Lich King? Do it! Pandaria? You got it! Battle for Azeroth? You're covered there too, buddy. Now this is, in my opinion, one of my favorite features about this expansion. It is not too crazy or flashy, but for those of us who are veteran players that have leveled through Outland a million times in the Cataclysm zones and... this choice system is a freaking godsend. It probably won't mean all that much to new players that will try out the game after Shadowlands release, but for us, it's gonna be pretty damn cool, I think. And hey, as an honorable mention, who doesn't love the idea of greater character customization? I mean, come on. I don't need to say anything really about that because we're all hyped for it. I'm hyped for it. You're hyped for it. You know you are. I want more tattoos though. I want tattoos on my human. That would be really nice. Thank you. But let's talk about the Shadowlands themselves, the new zones and the new systems that come with it. Guys, first of all, I think some of these new Covenant zones look great. Now others are okay-ish, in my opinion, but that's just my personal preference, and I ain't gonna bore you with my artistic critiques, so we ain't gonna do that. But what I do want to talk about, however, are the Covenants themselves that you can join. So first and foremost, one of the biggest things about the Covenant system that I love is the replayability factor of it all. When you choose a Covenant, that is your Covenant. That's your team, man. And if you want to change it, well, we don't have all the details yet, but apparently it's going to be a pain in the ass to do so. So you're mostly going to be stuck with your team until the expansions end. Now, these Covenants also all have unique powers that they will offer to you, the player. One that's a general power and another that is class specific. And they all have unique storylines and campaigns that you get to play throughout the expansion's narrative. The point is, your experience playing in one Covenant is going to be vastly different from playing in another. And to me, well, that's probably this Covenant system's greatest strength, the replayability. Another thing that you get to do is you also get to soulbind your character at max level to a specific powerful NPC that lives within your Covenant. And what it does is that unlocks a whole new talent tree for you to explore, making your character more powerful as you progress through it. Now, this system's cool, and I like it, and I like all the choices that were being offered as a player, although I will say that these little soul-binded talent trees do appear a bit limited and straightforward right now, but we could see more added to them in the future. We'll see. We'll check it out. And then there is Torghast, the Tower of the Damned, whose name I'm not sure I'm pronouncing correctly, but it's a Diablo-esque inspired dungeon that you can either play solo or you can play with a group of up to 4 other players. Now, this dungeon ain't like a regular dungeon where you follow some stupid linear path, you kill some bosses, and that's it. Nah, dude. This is a dungeon that's gonna mix things up on your ass. Sometimes you go into it and you're facing one type of mobs, you're encountering these types of traps and going down this particular route. But another time you go in, you're gonna be facing entirely new mobs, new traps, and following a completely different path. The point is, the dungeon is meant to be super replayable, and as you scale higher and higher into the tower, it becomes more and more challenging. Now, this is something I really can't form my full opinions on, as I need to play test it first. I gotta get my hands on it. But in theory, it sounds really interesting and is one of Shadowlands' highlights for me. One of the things I'm most excited for. You can probably see a recurring theme here. Replayability, replayability. This is good. I like this. But we also need to talk about legendaries because Blizzard is handling them completely different in this expansion. You see, in Legion, there was this horrible system of how legendaries would just randomly drop here and there, giving you, the player, some random ass boost to your power. Some legendaries were good, some sucked, but Blizzard learned, and now in this expansion, we are getting an entirely new way of getting these bad boys. And how do we do it? Get ready for a little bit of classic inspiration, my friends, because we're gonna forge them. That's right. Now, you're not necessarily always going to go to a blacksmith to forge your legendary or whatever, but professions do come into play. No matter what profession you have, you will be able to craft these base pieces of a legendary, combine them, and then forge yourself your very own sword, staff, piece of armor, or whatever Blizzard has in mind. Or, while you're adventuring out in the Shadowlands, you're gonna find trinkets, items, and other little doodad things that can be turned into legendary gear at a special forge where Frostmourne and the Helm of Domination were crafted. So all in all, you're gonna have complete control over what legendary you make using what pieces you find. Choose the stats, choose the cool powers it can offer you. This is a much more interesting system than Legion's and BFA's legendary system, at least in my opinion. And now I want to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart. In my opinion, it is one of the most beloved things coming out with this expansion, and that's more class identity. Blizzard has clearly learned a lot from Classic WoW's release, how many people are playing it, and just how much hype it still has behind it. And so it's no wonder that Classic WoW is affecting the next expansion amazingly. To really sell that fantasy of playing your class, Blizzard is bringing back so many of the old class-defining abilities that were lost over the years in World of Warcraft. Remember your totems as a shaman? They're coming back. Paladin auras, rogue poisons, warlock curses, a whole lot more. Remember Death Coil, Ursol's Vortex Consecration, Frost Shock Raised Dead, all that other stuff? They're coming back too, man. And yeah, even Ritual of Doom. Here's the thing, guys. I still stand by what I said in the last video where I mentioned that this expansion really doesn't have a whoa, oh my god factor when it comes to the Shadowlands. There's no new class to change things up. There's no new crazy system that's going to change the way we play the game or whatever. But what we are getting is what we know works. Blizzard seems to be focused first and foremost with introducing new players to the game in fun and exciting ways. That's good. We need the population to grow, and we need new players for that. They're introducing more character customization. They're determined to create a lot of replayability with the Covenant system. They are making legendaries fun and interesting again, and they are bringing back class identity with adding many forgotten spells back into the game. And do you know what all of this has in common? The player base is going to love it. It's what is tried, true, and tested, and we're getting it all in the Shadowlands. To someone who's going to try WoW for the first time during this expansion, craftable legendaries won't mean that much, nor will being able to choose what expansion you want to level in. But to us, the veteran players, this stuff is really going to make Shadowlands feel like a smooth, well-polished, and fun expansion. So what's my final conclusion regarding this expansion? Honestly, I still was hoping for a little bit more, but what we've gotten, I'm quite content with, and I will happily enjoy checking out upon release. That is my conclusion. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this expression of my thoughts on Shadowlands, and if you did, give the video a like, and if you want, sub as well and hit the bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. So far, this past month has been amazing. From releasing a new Machinima video, a new True Story of episode for Halloween, some new countdown videos, and getting to cover BlizzCon and all this cool stuff that's coming out down the road. It's been great. And we're just getting started, man. Like, I got some ideas. You're gonna see. So thank you guys for supporting the channel, and I will see you next week with more videos. And if you're a fan of Elder Scrolls Online, I am gonna be making more ESO content. Don't worry, it's coming. We're gonna show you guys some love. Just stay tuned. Thanks.